acts of terrorism in India. In brief, terrorism and talks cannot be held at the same time. Cannot go along
right,
at
Mr.
the
Neeraj
same time.
Srivastava. There, we are playing you the live pictures from Wagah-Attari border, where Wing Commander Abhinandan has arrived. We are playing you the live visuals from the Wagah-Attari border. IAF Braveheart has returned back to India. Rajya Sabha Television is getting you all the ground report and details, discussion on that very latest development. Wing Commander Abhinandan has been handed over to India at the Wagah-Attari border. There, thousands of people and hundreds of media personnel have been waiting through the day for his arrival back to the country. Wing Commander Abhinandan was captured by the Pakistan after his jet went down following a strike by an enemy missile. The MiG-21 Bison that he was flying was shot and he bailed out after bringing down one Pakistani F-16 fighter jet during a dogfight with Pakistan on Wednesday morning. There, the live visuals from Wagah-Attari border. On Thursday, Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan had announced the release of Wing Commander Abhinandan in what is being seen as a major diplomatic win for India. India had sought immediate return of its pilot in line with the Geneva Conventions. And India had also strongly objected to what it called the vulgar display of the captured personnel. There, Abhinandan back to the country. We are playing you these live visuals. All through the day, we have been waiting for this moment, for the arrival of IAF Wing Commander Abhinandan Vardhaman. All through the day, excited citizens carrying tricolour and raising patriotic slogans and dancing to the dhol beats were seen there at the border to catch the glimpse of the IAF pilot. Also, the daily retreat ceremony at the border front was cancelled for the day by the Indian authorities due to the large gathering at the spot. There, a moment of pride for India, a major diplomatic win for India, with the arrival of IAF pilot Abhinandan back to the country. A series of attacks, and there the gates are opening for IAF pilot Wing Commander Abhinandan. Remember what we have been told by our correspondent. Akhilesh was telling us that after he comes back to India, there will be a series of process which will be followed, his medical checkup. A moment of pride for India there. Their Wing Commander Abhinandan coming back home. A major diplomatic win for India. Remember, India has been bringing up the problem, the menace of terrorism on international platform, on global arena. Various efforts to isolate Pakistan on this issue. Today, External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj attended OIC summit, where she underscored the need to impose checks on global sponsors of terrorism. She also underlined that fight against terror is not against any community or religion. There, Wing Commander Abhinandan, we are playing you the live visuals from Wagha-Attari border. There, the gates are opening. And the official protocol is also being undertaken. There, Wing Commander Abhinandan enters into the Indian side. A moment of pride for India, a major diplomatic win for the nation. Rajya Sabha Television has been getting you a continuous coverage of all the details on that development. And going back to our correspondent Akhilesh Suman. Akhilesh, a moment of pride for India, a major diplomatic win which we have been talking about.
Really, it is a major achievement at this point of time, Smriti, that Wing Commander Abhinandan is inside our territory now. Now Abhinandan is a free man and he is an official of India. He is back in India. You know that you have seen that in Pakistan, he was for last 3 days, and for last 3 days he was, it was pressure on Pakistan that Prime Minister Imran Khan had to announce his release, and now he is inside our country. You have seen the footage. You see that there was a lady who is Ministry of Foreign Affairs officials, and the person who was also there, he was also from the Pakistani Air Force. So he was given the protocol that requires to release wing commander. So in a way that you can think that yes, he was given the honor, that he was released with full honor in this point of time. And as wing commander is inside India territory, it's a great relief, and it's also a great moment of happiness for all of us, for all the countrymen, for Indian officials, Ministry of External Affairs, Ministry officials, and also Defense, Air Force. Everyone is happy in this point of time that Wing Commander Abhinandan is inside our territory now. Wing Commander Abhinandan, we were waiting for you for a long time, for the whole day. Since morning, everyone in India was waiting for you, and now you are inside. Welcome, Wing Commander Abhinandan in India. Smriti.
And now, since we are seeing the visuals live from Wagha-Attari border, now what will be the process further?
You know, now the first process is that he may go through the health checkup inside India, and after he is found fit, he will also be having conversation with officials of Ministry of External Affairs, his own, department, Air Force, and also, some intelligence officials also will talk to him. He will give the whole brief that what happened with him, in what stances and what was the conversation inside Pakistan. So, the
Right.
whole account of how he spent his time inside Pakistani territory for last 3 days and nights. That
Right.
it's a whole saga that how he spent the, inside the territory that is considered to be enemy territory. And after that, he will be taken to Amritsar, and from there he will be taken to Delhi. And in Delhi also, he may get a chance to meet Defense Minister Nirmala Sitharaman. And indeed, after that, he will be taken in his Tamil Nadu home. So it's a time of victory for all Indians, for all Indian diplomats, for Indian embassies all over the world who had worked overnight to
Absolutely.
pressurize Pakistan to release Wing Commander Abhinandan. And at this point of time, there is a moment of happiness all over the Indian officialdom, all over the Indian political class across party lines, that Wing Commander Abhinandan is inside our territory. Smriti.
Absolutely, Akhilesh. India has been working day in and day out to ensure the safe return of Wing Commander Abhinandan back to the country. Akhilesh, for the better understanding of our viewers, can you guide us in understanding the relevance of the health checkup of Abhinandan at this point of time?
Because he ejected himself from the flight, and when he ejected, he dropped down inside the Pakistani territory. And when he was in Pakistani territory, he was confronted with a local mob, and some stones were also thrown on him. Then he had to jump in a pond. And after he came out of the pond, these local people also, tried to misbehave with him. But in that moment, army officials came and he was taken into custody of army officials. After that, he was taken to Rawalpindi, headquarters of Pakistani army, where, he must have gone through conversation, dialogue with the officials of Pakistani army, Pakistani intelligence officials.
Right.
And the whole point in this was that whether he is being treated well, whether he was not harassed, he was not
Right.
tortured, he was not physically harmed, he was not mentally harassed. All these things include, and once he is inside Indian territory, there will be a session of counseling also. The traumatic moment he has gone inside an enemy territory with all his documents, with his all, he was also armed with his pistol. So everything was there with him. So how he felt it there, and this is the process that is called debriefing. That to take this person in a normal condition. That yes, you had undergone certain situation. Now you are in normal situation. So now you are a normal Wing Commander of India. You have done bravery. So he has to be counseled. And in
All
that, the whole health certification is also required, that he is fit and fine to join his job also. So this is the normal process that every soldier who goes inside enemy territory, and when he comes inside Indian territory, he has to be certified that he is normal now. So that is the process, Smriti.
Akhilesh, you stay on with us. We'll come back to you for more inputs on this. Coming back to Mr. Neeraj Srivastav. Sir, Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan had announced the release of Wing Commander Abhinandan as a peace gesture, as a goodwill gesture. How big was the diplomatic pressure on Pakistan to take this step?
Mr. Imran Khan was merely trying to appear to the international community as a statesman and as a peace-loving leader when he announced the release of Wing Commander Abhinandan as a goodwill gesture. The fact is that he had to do so under pressure, because if you recall, a day before that, immediately after the capture of Wing Commander Abhinandan, he had stated that India can now begin talks with us to discuss the future course of action regarding Wing Commander Abhinandan. So obviously what happened? Suddenly that he had to change his plans. Well, what happened was that I think certain countries which are very important for Pakistan put pressure on Pakistan and told Pakistan that he should be released without any further delay. Because otherwise Pakistan would never have released Wing Commander Abhinandan in such a short time. And amongst these countries, I would like to particularly name Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, and the United States. There may have been other countries also, but I think these three countries, they played an important role. And as we all know that the economic condition of Pakistan is very poor at the moment, and it is basically surviving on handouts from countries like Saudi Arabia and the UAE. So it became impossible for Imran Khan to say no to these countries, and also because our foreign minister was going to address the OIC
Srivastava, we will come back to you. Right, Mr. Neeraj Srivastava, we will come back to you. There, a press conference being addressed by IAF official. Let's listen in.
Sudhir.
Now be taken for a detailed medical checkup. This checkup is mandated particularly because the officer has had to eject from an aeroplane which would have put his entire body under great stress. IF is happy to have Abhinandan back. Thank you.
What was the delay about?
There, the press conference being addressed by the Indian Air Force officials, telling about the homecoming of brave IAF pilot Abhinandan to India.
Just now that he has crossed over the zero line.
So he was here when? At the checkpost in Atari.
No, not very long time. He reached this place not very long back, and he was here for about half an hour. The documents were completed, and thereafter he was handed over to the BSF authorities, and the Air Force authorities have taken him.
ਢਿੱਲੋਂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਪੇਰੈਂਟਸ ਇੱਥੇ ਨੇ
नहीं जी
ਸਰ ਮੈਡੀਕਲ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਹੋਏਗਾ
मेडिकल जी एयर फोर्स अथॉरिटीज खुद अपना इंटरनल है जी ਉਹਦੇ ਚ ਕਰਾ नहीं जी भाई एयर जान
why was there a press conference scheduled at 5:30 if he wasn't here?
क्योंकि जी उम्मीद सीगी कि उस टाइम तक आ जाएंगे बट somehow he got delayed on the way. We have not asked the Pakistan authorities as to why, what was the delay. We are happy to have him back, and the Air Force authorities have now taken him with him. The Air Vice Marshal has accompanying him. He's come all the way from the air headquarters.
Did he say anything when he arrived?
No, he was happy to be back.
What did he say?
He didn't say anything. He was smiling, and he says, "It's back to be good to my country."
Sir,
पंजाबी जिस तरह जी कि विंग कमांडर अभिनंदन जी हुणे पाकिस्तान अथॉरिटीज़ ने इंडियन अथॉरिटीज़ ਨੂੰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਵਾਪਸ ਭੇਜਿਆ ਹੁਣੇ 에ਅਰ ਫੋਰਸ ਦੇ ਬੜੀ ਸੀਨੀਅਰ ਅਧਿਕਾਰੀਆਂ ਦੀ ਟੀਮ ਦਿੱਲੀ ਤੋਂ 에ਅਰ ਵਾਈਸ ਮਾਰਸ਼ਲ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਖੁਦ ਆਏ ਸੀਗੇ ਉਹ 에ਅਰ ਵਾਈਸ ਮਾਰਸ਼ਲ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਨਾਲ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਗਏ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਹੁਣੇ ਔਰ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਜੋ ਵੀ ਮੈਡੀਕਲ चेकअप हैगा प्रोसीजर के मुताबिक वो होके ते उन्होंने एयर हेडक्वार्टर पे
सर अभी तक कहाँ पर थे कहाँ पर वो थे
पाकिस्तान में थे
पाकिस्तान में रवाना हो चुके थे तो यहाँ आने में
इस्लामाबाद और इस जगह का डिस्टेंस तो बेसिकली हमारा उनसे ये था कि वो आ जाए नॉर्मली जो ये बॉर्डर है तो स्पेशली खोल के शाम को लेट बिकॉज वापस लिया
What was the communication from Pakistan side that made you believe that he'd be here by 6 o'clock?
Look, The thing is, there's no written communications in these matters, but we were given to understand that he will be there. So the expectation was that he might be there by that time, but somehow it got delayed. And as a special case, the border was opened and he is being taken.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
क्या अभिनंदन मीडिया के सामने भी एक बार आ सकते हैं क्या
अभी नहीं जी, जब तक वो एयरफोर्स अभी उनको लेके जाएगी, वो उधर से हवाई जहाज से पैराड्रॉप हुए हैं, तो उसमें स्ट्रेस टू द बॉडी भी होता है, तो उनको चेकअप करके उनकी मेडिकल कंडीशन ठीक करके उसके बाद
When exactly cross the border?
about just 10 minutes back.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
And we'll go back to Mr. Neeraj Srivastav.